Hello everyone, hello from the Lightstream team, and today we are very excited and incredibly thrilled to announce the release of the new version of our Lightstream software, which is available right now. Someone has already tried it out. Version 3.2. This update includes over 100 improvements and fixes, including new features like a calendar, universe transfer, enhanced import-export, and improved FBX import. Now importing FBX is easier and more convenient to work with. And there's also a magic transfer button. Transfer of splines directly from 3D to 2D. That's really cool. We are currently in this new nice studio specifically to definitely tell you about our updates. My name is Leonid, let's get started. Поехали.
Lightstream.
Let's start with Lightstream by launching our Lightstream program together as a team. And at the very beginning, we see the new loading window of our program updated. You can also see at the bottom under the Lightstream logo version 3.2. The build you have might be newer. I have it now. It's stable, working, and it already has everything you need. There's a major super update that I'll tell you about in just a little bit. But let's go through it step by step. This is the welcome window. Now you can select and specifically click on the project you need. You can right-click on it, open it, and show it in the File Explorer. By the way, that's really convenient. You can click, and it will open the location of your project. That's cool. Also, the project now opens with a double click of the left mouse button. And also, in this same window, you can now, when creating a project, click Create and choose the frame rate for your project. Adjust later if needed. This setting is simply placed here. It can be configured later. Already, after creating the project, let's create a new project together with you. LS32. So project is created, and what do we see at the very beginning? We're just looking at the program, and you can already see one thing. Program in Windows, Livestream icon. First of all, our program is now integrated into the standard Windows window at the top. You can see the Livestream program icon. This is the actual program window. And then there's the program's interface itself. And in this interface, in the very top main menu, new tabs for Edit and Schedule have been added, as well as an ArtNet button and quick access to settings. Well, since we can immediately see this nice ArtNet button right up here, let's talk a little bit about it. This is the button to turn the ArtNet signal transmission on and off. Hello from the future. My beard has gotten longer, and I've become wiser, and now I can tell you a bit more about this ArtNet button. In general, this button duplicates here in the settings a button enabling ArtNet, and this button completely duplicates that functionality. It just checks this box. You see, I turned it on and it lit up. The signal's in. And you can also turn it on, signal going, flashing. The main thing is to select your network card that the devices are connected to. That's it. Everything you need to know this button. The functionality is simply brought out to this panel. It's handy. Now this starts the ArtNet signal. This stream is sent to all the devices we've added. For example, if we add another converter. All right, let's start it. Yes, the signal is going everywhere on all devices, so everything works fine. All is great. I hope you find this useful and it will be easy to use. Let's move on to the next update. We've moved on to the most important part, the main thing. This is the calendar. It's called the schedule here. Right now, the program is divided into two workspaces. This is the editing space where we do patching, 3D, viewing, mapping, and everything else. And the second tab is the schedule. We click on the schedule, and the interface changes a bit for us. We now have the same window as in the editing space. These are the compositions. They are always the standard ones that you created. We also have the tabs for calendar, playlists, and event list. Here, well, the composition is the same tab. Here we move into editing, and it stays like this. These are same compositions. Let's start the calendar with the key part. This is the playback status window. Here it is shown at the top, and this window gives you the ability to manage the calendar and your lighting for the architectural object right on site. From a stationary machine, you set up the computer right on the site, hit start, and the calendar plays back for you. It shows which event is currently playing, which calendar it is. You can literally go in and change something by pressing the start button. You press the start button and everything starts up. All the playlists, all your transitions are set up, the compositions, everything is working, everything is great. You can control it. Awesome. Let's discuss the calendar. We have created a full-fledged functionality of the calendar that exists on the player. So, does that mean you can do everything you used to do in the same way as before? Before, in the player, we created a schedule. All these playlists, compositions, what, where, when it will be played. All this functionality is now transitioning to Lightstream, so it stays both in the player and will be in Lightstream. And you can do it there and here, where convenient for you. This is also done so that you can do it right from a stationary machine, as I already mentioned, to output everything directly to your site, all the lighting. I've opened an already completed project, the calendar. We see its fullness, like its content. We have events that we typically created in the player. Basically, of course, playlists are used to create the lighting. So the second one plays in the same playlist. We have a calendar that shows all these events as they happen throughout the week, over course of month. And let's just simply export this calendar to our player. In order for the export to go smoothly, all the compositions that you have created should already be on your player. So we go into the editor, go to export, select all the compositions, click start, and export the Q files. You can set the size of the GIF now. Talk about this later. And we are already uploading all these compositions to our player, after which we go in right after that point. First, into the devices, we carefully select our player and then log into our player. This is the username and password that we use to access the player. We enter it here, and now we have this settings export button, which is placed in this line. In the top right corner, we can easily export directly from the schedule, such as, so we see the schedule, we click this button and choose what we want to export. We now want to export the playlists and events from the calendar. We press the export button. He logs into the system and then he loads all of your playlists, creates, and tells us the settings have been successfully updated. So everything has gone well and turned out great because I already transferred everything in advance. I rendered the compositions in Q and transferred them to our player. Now let's go into our player. Let's take a look at the playlists. Here they have been transferred. All of them that we have here in the program, they are now on the player. Next, the animations. Here they are. Everything is here, and let's go into the schedule. Here it is in full. It's exactly the same schedule that we currently have in the Lightstream program. Here it is, the complete identity of the functionalities in the player and the functionalities in Lightstream. Calendar, event list. Here it is, the event list in Lightstream. We can see everything, we can add events. You can also add a new event here. You can duplicate, delete. Event list, what can we do here? Here we can just also open it. Change. I think it's even better and more convenient in Lightstream. So we've noted it down to make everything clear for everyone. The entire functionality of the schedule in the player has been transferred to Lightstream. And that's the most important thing. Okay. Well, now let's move on to the next update. One of the coolest, most awesome new features is the advanced importing of FBX files with splines. Let's press the button. Importing object. Let's find something perhaps straightforward. Here, we just have a little bridge. Let's open it. So, here we have the little bridge. Great bridge. Most likely, it's here. Let's go. 3D objects. Yes. We have splines. We have lights. Great. The splines replicate the lines of the bridge's cables, and there are pixels placed on it. And here we have it. We created a 3D object in a 3D program, any Blender, 3D Max, which is mainly used for architecture. And we just set up the splines we need, and from 3D, we're transferring it into the program-ready 3D object. And magically, indeed almost specifically, and then with the new button, like the magic 2D button, there was a magic 3D button, and now we have a magic 2D button. Now I'll explain how to use it. Let's go into the comp, and let's go into mapping and set up our layout. Let's at least make it 1920 by 1080 pixels, just to have a bit of standard quality. Rectangular, like our bridge. Go 3D. The next step is to choose the camera from which we will transfer our splines from 3D to 2D. So it will take a picture of them. So it will take everything from a specific camera view and transfer it to the mapping field. Cool. It's really cool. Why didn't we have this before? Now, it exists. So we choose from the left. The left one doesn't work. On the front, great. Here we have the lines, right, on the bridge. Pixels are located on them. This is exactly how I need it to make the mapping process. We press the magic button 2D. So, here we select the same camera that we chose and see that it fits. This is front view. Press OK. Magic. Glory. Everything is already working. Everything is glowing. Everything is done. The mapping is ready. Let's go to the object. We'll upload all the animation. We can set it up right away. And already, for it to play, just like that, usually these damages. They called me from the future again. Well, alright, what should I talk about? 3D, 2D magic button. What's the deal is? If anyone didn't get it, we're transferring the splines from the 3D object. From the 3D object, we transfer the splines that we drew in the 3D program directly to the mapping. He's transferring them, that's the main thing. Well, let's take a look. Here was our bridge. In 3D, the model already has baked textures, but this is a specific model. It's done in 3D Max. And here, as we can see, there are splines. They are located on these branches. Let's remove the branches. These are the splines, just splines. They are broken somewhere. In places where the pixel branch will most likely really be broken. And here they are in 3D. And not just splines, but also light bulbs, spotlights, and here they are, the lights. They have their own direction. So we created this kind of object in 3D. We just threw in some light bulbs and already saw how gorgeous it all looks. We built the splines as they should be on the branches. We saved this model in FBX format and File. We open it using Import in Lightstream. And here is the model. Here is the model, it turns out. We press the 2D magic button. One we pressed, we selected our view that we need from the front, right? Let's move on to mapping. And here are our pixels, our branches, our splines, on which there are already there are pixels. Appear in the devices. Here they are, little branches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here they are. On one side, and perhaps on the other, we can stretch them, shrink them, and completely and thoroughly adjust them in various ways. So, the mapping is ready. There are spotlights. Here they are watching. We have lights in the 3D program. Spotlights in Lightstream. Everything looks beautiful. Everything transferred in one click. This is the main feature of the 2D magic button. For those who didn't get it, I'm from the future with a long beard, just for you. Well, it's a masterpiece. Well then, let's move on to the next update, and let's render this video. To simply render the video, we create our new camera. Here, we click Select the camera, set up the view, go to export, and choose our composition that we want to render. Here's the rainbow. Further, in the export mode, we select video rendering. We go into settings. There are many settings. Rendering. Well, let's leave it like that. Cool. HD. Everything is ready. The name of the exported file will be the same as the name of the composition. You can choose the path where we will render. Let's choose. Right here, we click Start. I forgot we need to select the camera view. Target camera. Everything is rendering. Here it shows the progress, how many frames have been rendered. Here, the same thing is written on the timeline. You can also see how many seconds have passed in the rendering. How much time left to render? A minute? Let's definitely have it rendered right now. Well, our video is ready. Rendering was successful. That's it. It showed how much has been rendered. 1 minute. Let's go in and find our file. Let's open it. Done. Right from the Lightstream program, you can render in full HD, 4K, any resolution, any bitrate. There are also a lot of images of super codecs. And you can already show the client how the lighting will look. Many people did it that way. They just record it with some programs directly from the screen. And now you can... It's very quick and easy to render your video. We were also asked to make this update. Everything is based on your requests. We adding everything. New features. And this is one of the coolest ones, by the way. In the next updates, we might also add camera movement. And then you don't need any additional programs to immediately show the client right how it will look. So, this is the little update based on your requests. Let's move on. Let's launch another new version of Lightstream so that we get the pop-up window first. I forgot to mention that by simply right-clicking on the project you need, you can easily remove it from the quick access list. So, if you've already finished working on something and you're no longer working on it, you can delete it. And let me just delete a little bit. This cannot be returned. You can't bring it back. Next. This is just... Why wasn't this offered before? Are you asking? I don't know. But it's obvious clearly everything we do is in pixels. We do pixel by pixel mapping. So why didn't we have a grid before? Detailed pixel grid and mapping. It's just amazing. Now all's convenient. You can place them across the field according to your pixels. You can see the grid. Well, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Convenient. And one more innovation. I'll create a new spline. One. Enter. Done. How was it before? That's it. We can't do anything more. Yes. And now we just go a little bit more into editing. So we double click, for example, on the spline. You can move it like before, yes. And now we selected the outer point and are pulling it. And look, what's being pulled? Continuation of the spline. Well, this is just awesome. And just one click, great. We double clicked, great. We continued the spline. We clicked, hit enter, and fixed the result. We clicked on another starting point of the spline. And whoops. We continue the spline slightly in editing in any direction. From the beginning, from the end. Cool. Why wasn't it there? There was not much there before, and there will be more. Let's continue.
Lightstream.
We now have movement along the grid and the axis. Hold down the Shift key. And whoops, snapping to the Y-axis to the X-axis. The snapping feature appeared when holding down the Shift key. Awesome. And the next update is you can copy splines, like in the program Madrix. Such an update was requested to implement in our program. Ivan Gerasimov. This is a professional installer, and he said we need to make spline copying convenient, like in the program Madrix. Well, we've done it. So we create any spline or curve. Like this, we press enter, hold down, Ctrl. And we drag from the center of the selected spline. That's it, it's being copied. We can select any number and just copy them all here. The main thing is that your program doesn't freeze from such a large number of splines. We messed it up. So please write to us in our Telegram and in our community. Let us know what you want to add to this program, what you want to see. This isn't the only feature that we've been asked for, and we've added it. So, write to us. The things are good. I like them too. Let's move to next feature. We kind of created the main layout and set up all the animation. Overall, everything is just perfectly cool. Let's create a new layout. And we need these little pixels to be a different color. This layout is created under the main layout. So what to do? It's unclear, so what to do? Watch the magic of the new feature. We select the main layout and simply drag it under the layout. Whoa. Magic. That's cool. In the upcoming updates, everything will be even easier. The logic with layouts and layers will certainly indeed change a bit, and everything will be just great. Indeed, truly, absolutely. The vision, moving, main layout. Alright, let's move on to the next small but cool updates. Let's press stop, hit the spacebar. Hold down Control and press the arrow keys on the keyboard left and right. We can move along the timeline, frame by frame, forward, backward, and if we hold down Control-Shift, then we just move by 10 frames, forward and backward. It's in all programs and now it's in ours too, and that's awesome. Let's move on to the next update. This is the process of resizing the GIF. Now it can be adjusted. Let's go to the Export tab and click on the gear icon. And here is the very first setting, the GIF setting. You can change it. Now its duration. By default, it was, I think, 15 seconds. Now you can change it to 1 second. So this affects the size of the output Q file. And set quality. Look, settings are, well, where would you put that much? Minimum, very low, low, medium, high, very high, maximum. Such as, to keep everything light, we'll set it to the minimum. Colors, 32, duration 1 second, and your GIF will weigh. It won't weigh a thing. So the next update, it's a small one. We're going to refine it. But for example, there is a player in the project. Let's add, perhaps, for example, an additional converter. And now we have this notification icon appearing. Warning, click to see more. Why in the Russian version in English? We don't know yet, but we'll find out soon. This is the icon that shows us what changes have been made to the device itself. In the player, in the converters, in the number of ports, any changes are happening. With your various devices and different instruments, it shows that you can send this data to the player. When do you click? Yes. It goes to the settings window. So it's the same as just selecting the Lightstream player here at the top, export the settings, and select the device universes. Let's go to our player. Let's delete it. Let's go back. And we'll click export. Authorization has been completed. All settings have been successfully updated. Go hours. Player. Refresh page. All the ports have been transferred. And this is the main thing that shows us that you've changed something. So don't forget it. It's like sending your changes to the player. So keep an eye on it. Don't lose your changes. Let's talk about the next update. This is the ping of the player and the converter. We go into the settings, click on the new little gear. It's convenient. Let's go to the network settings, search. We select our network card, where all our devices are connected, that we are working with. And it finds, here we have players, converters. For example, we click on the converter and we have, just a second, you can see it. We click on ping and all the lights started blinking. Cool. You can also ping. the player. We'll check it now. Yes, everything is pinging perfectly, but you can only ping the second player because it has as the lights located in the converter. Unfortunately, the first player doesn't have those lights on the ports. But the most important thing is that all of this is happening right now using the standard ArtNet protocol through the art_address command. You can also ping any other devices connected to your network if they were created according to the ArtNet standard. So it's not just our Lightstream device, but also any other device that follows the ArtNet standard. Cool, cool. And also how to ping. Here it found our converter. Let's examine the IP address. Approximately 0.187. So let's go into the editor. Select the devices. I added converter 6. We need to specify the correct address here. 187, right? I think it's 187. Great, this is our converter. And you can click directly on the device icon. In the devices, it will start blinking and will also ping. Show you. We have the converter. We click the icon, it blinks, and the converter blinks too, simultaneously. Ping! Cool. So let's ping for a little while. Well, in general, we quickly went through all the noticeable updates and new features. There are actually more of them. Will you find them yourself? I think you're really going to like this update because it has become easier to work. There are little things that we've gotten used to everywhere. We are integrating them into our program and it becomes more convenient and intuitive, more clear. Happy New Year to everyone once again. In 2025, I hope we will delight you with even more updates, cool features in Lightstream and in the device firmware itself. Everything will work even better. We'll make the interface super convenient so that you just press one button and everything looks great. That's what we're aiming for. Oh, good mood. Wishing you happiness and health in the new year. Wishing you lots of cool projects. Create and innovate together with our products from Lightstream. Goodbye, everyone. This was Leonid.
The life